They say when you retire, you slow down. But what if danger doesn't? A few years ago, I visited an acquaintance in rural Texas, sharp as ever, living alone with two German shepherds and a wood stove. On his nightstand wasn't a smartphone or a fancy alarm system. It was a well-worn .38 Special revolver. I asked him, "Why that one?" He said, "Because when I hear glass break at 2 a.m., I don't want to wonder if it'll jam." That stuck with me. Today, we're diving into a revolver that fits that mindset perfectly. Simple, reliable, and costs less than a weekend getaway. It's what I call a retirement revolver. No frills, no flash, just performance where it counts. At $299, it may not look like much, but I'm here to show you why this budget wheel gun might just be one of the smartest defensive choices you can make. There's a category of firearms that rarely gets talked about in gun magazines or flashy review channels. It's not the latest polymer-framed striker fire with optic cuts and rails. It doesn't win beauty contests or get pinned on gun forums, but it quietly sits in nightstands, glove compartments, and kitchen drawers all across America. I call it the Retirement Revolver. This isn't about nostalgia. It's about practicality. A retirement revolver is designed for people who want one thing above all else: confidence. Confidence that when they reach for it, it will go bang every time. No magazines to worry about, no safeties to fumble with, no slide to rack under pressure. It's built for simplicity, not show. It's for folks who've moved past the trend-chasing and tacticool hype. People who want a tool, not a toy. And because it's a revolver, it's forgiving. You can load it, store it, and forget it. For months, maybe years, without worrying about springs, dust, or lube. That's why the retirement revolver isn't just for retirees. It's for anyone who values reliability over novelty. For those who'd rather have 6 rounds they can count on than 15 they're unsure about. It's not exciting, but when real life happens at 2 a.m., excitement is the last thing you need. So let's talk specifics. The revolver I've chosen to spotlight today is one that flies under most people's radar. The Armscor M200, chambered in .38 Special. Priced right around $299, this isn't some cheap novelty gun. It's a working-class wheel gun from a company that's been producing firearms for over a century. Let's get the basics out of the way. It's a double-action, single-action revolver with a 6-round capacity. Barrel length, 4 inches, long enough for decent accuracy. Short enough for bedside or glove box duty. It's got a steel frame with a parkerized finish that shrugs off wear. It's no beauty queen. But that's not the point. This thing is built to run, not pose. When you hold it, it feels solid. There's weight, yes, but not excessive. The grip is large enough to fill the hand without feeling clunky. The trigger pull in double action is surprisingly smooth for this price point. Better, in fact, than some more expensive revolvers I've tested over the years. And in single action, crisp, predictable, and confidence-inspiring. Now, why is it only $299? It's not because it's junk, it's because Armscor manufactures in the Philippines, keeps things simple, and doesn't spend millions on marketing or aesthetics. You're paying for steel, reliability, and straightforward engineering. That's it. In a world of overpriced hype guns and accessories no one actually needs, the M200 stands as a quiet reminder of what matters: function over fashion. It's the revolver version of a well-used hammer. Might have scratches, might not shine, but when it hits hard. I've put a few hundred rounds through this revolver over the past few months. Standard pressure, plus P loads, lead nose, hollow points, you name it. And let me tell you, it just works. Out at the range, the first thing you notice is the simplicity. You load 6 rounds into the cylinder, close it with a firm click, and you're ready. No fiddling, no levers, just aim and fire. At 7 yards, the most common self-defense distance, I was consistently grouping within a 4-inch circle. And this isn't with match-grade ammo or laser-like focus. This is real-world shooting. Draw, fire, react. The recoil? Manageable. It's not a featherweight snubby, so there's enough heft to soak up some of the punch, especially with standard .38 Special rounds. Even plus P loads are controllable, though they bark a bit louder. But this isn't a gun that beats up your hand. It's something you can practice with regularly, without needing to ice your wrist afterward. What surprised me most was the trigger. In double action, it's long but smooth, Predictable, with no gritty hang-ups. In single action, it breaks clean, allowing for deliberate, accurate shots. Honestly, I've handled revolvers twice the price that felt worse. I did a basic malfunction test. Dusty environment, gloves on, rapid fire, no hiccups, every chamber rotated, every round fired. The ejection was clean. The fixed sights are basic, integrated front ramp and rear groove, but lined up intuitively. In short, it does everything it's supposed to without asking for attention. Now, is it sexy? No. Is it flashy? Not even close. But out there on the range, this $299 revolver held its own. Not just for the money, period. It won't win you Instagram likes, but it just might save your life. And honestly, isn't that what we're really here for? When it comes to budget revolvers, you expect compromises. And sure, this isn't a finely tuned, hand-fitted revolver out of a custom shop. But what impressed me most about the M200 is how little you actually give up for the price, and where the trade-offs occur. Let's start with the strengths. First, durability. This isn't a gun that'll fall apart with use. The steel construction and no-nonsense finish give it a ruggedness that feels trustworthy. It's not delicate. You could drop it, bang it around, keep it in a drawer for years, and odds are, it'll still function as intended. Then there's the user-friendliness. The controls are intuitive. The grip shape is comfortable, even for larger hands. And the gun doesn't demand constant cleaning or lubrication to run well. It's the kind of firearm that forgives neglect, an underrated trait in any home defense weapon, but it's not without flaws. The sights, for example, are fixed and low profile. They're not easy to pick up in low light, and there's no rail to attach optics or a light. This isn't the gun you'd take to a tactical course. It's purely defensive. Also, the trigger, while smooth, is on the heavier side, especially in double action mode. For some shooters, particularly those with reduced hand strength, that could be a consideration. Finally, it's not exactly slim. For concealed carry, you'll feel it. It's not ideal for waistband or ankle holsters, unless you're willing to dress around the gun. Still, what you get is mechanical honesty. No fancy coatings, no gimmicks, just a tool built to do one job and do it reliably. And for many people, especially those who prioritize readiness over appearance, that's a trade worth making every time. Not every gun is for everyone, and that's perfectly fine. The M200 isn't built to win over the tacticool crowd or the precision shooters dialing in half-inch groups. It's built for people who need something that just works, without overthinking it. This revolver is a natural fit for folks who want straightforward home protection. Maybe it's someone living in a quiet neighborhood, not looking to train every weekend, but still wanting peace of mind when the house creaks at night. Or someone new to firearms who feels overwhelmed by the buttons, levers, and failure points of modern pistols. It also makes sense as a backup firearm, truck gun, cabin gun, one you can store and forget, but rely on when needed. For family members who aren't gun savvy but need a trustworthy option, this revolver is easy to teach, simple to operate, and hard to misuse. In short, it's not for show, it's for real life. And in a world full of over-engineered options, sometimes simple is not just safer, it's smarter. Now, let's put this revolver in context. At the $299 price point, it's not the only option, but it's certainly one of the more honest ones. Let's compare it with a few other names you might come across if you're shopping in this range. Take the Taurus 856, for example. It's compact, carries 6 rounds, and often retails just under $400. It has a slightly sleeker design and comes in several finishes, but the trigger, at least on the out-of-the-box models I've tested, is noticeably heavier and grittier than the M200. Taurus wins on concealability and visual appeal, but if you're prioritizing smoothness and handling, the M200 holds its ground. Then there's the Charter Arms Undercover series, another American-made budget revolver. It's lighter, easier to carry, but that weight comes at the cost of recoil management. With snappier handling and more noticeable muzzle rise, it's less pleasant for extended range sessions or plus P rounds. And of course, you have the Ruger LCR, a well-engineered revolver, lightweight and modern, with a superior trigger. But it's more than double the price. At that point, you're playing in a different league entirely. The M200 doesn't try to compete by doing more. It competes by doing enough. It offers reliability, shootability, and mechanical integrity without chasing trends. If you value fundamentals over features, this revolver punches above its weight class. And unlike some of its rivals, it won't leave you wondering if that budget price came at the cost of performance. So, is the $209 Retirement Revolver worth your money? If you're looking for a compact, lightweight carry gun with modular features and modern styling, this isn't it. But if what you need is a dependable, no-nonsense sidearm for home defense or backup duty, the answer is a confident yes. The M200 doesn't try to be everything. It focuses on one job, delivering 6 controlled, accurate shots with no surprises, and does that job well. There are no buttons to memorize, no optics to zero, and no fine-tuned tolerances to babies. It's just steel, springs, and simplicity. Its imperfections are honest. It's a bit bulky. The finish is industrial, not polished. But none of that matters at 2 mm. When what you need isn't beauty, it's bang. There's a certain freedom in owning a firearm that doesn't demand your admiration. You don't feel guilty leaving it in a drawer. You're not afraid to train hard with it. It becomes what it was meant to be, a tool you trust. For under $300, that kind of confidence is hard to come by. And for many people, especially those who value function over flair, that makes this revolver not just a good buy, but a smart one. If this video gave you something to think about, whether you're a first-time buyer or just someone who appreciates a practical firearm, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you trust a $299 revolver for home defense? Or do you lean towards something else entirely? Drop a comment below and let me know what your go-to gun would be if simplicity and reliability were all that mattered. If you enjoyed the breakdown, learned something new, or just like content that cuts through the noise, hit that like button. And if you want more real-world reviews without the hype, consider subscribing. I don't do glamour, I do gear that works. Thanks for watching, and remember, the best gun in the world is the one you can count on when it matters most.